468-7162.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
All right, great friends. What's going on? Today is Monday. It is June 27th. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. And we come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. All right, so fellas, we kind of got warmed up and just kind of talked about the weekend and what was going on. And I will admit that I did not spend nearly as much time this weekend watching the Padres, frankly, or the Dodgers or the Angels. Kind of just kept my eyes on the headlines. Padres lose 3 out of 4 to the Phillies. Dodgers take 2 out of 3 from Atlanta in Atlanta. And by the way, last night, kind of a blow up between both closers. Kenley Jansen for Atlanta, who was obviously with the Dodgers forever. And then now Craig Kimbrell, who's with the Dodgers to replace Kenley Jansen. Both of these guys just got blown up. And by the way, Trace Thompson, the one-time Padre from earlier in this year, winds up coming up with a monster RBI, 2-run RBIs to tie the game last night. So I was watching a little last night of this Dodgers Braves. I definitely went back. I had to go watch this whole situation that happened with Anaheim and with Seattle and this brawl, and then this hilarious story thereafter about this pizza delivery to Angel Stadium. So a lot of baseball to get to from the weekend. How about you guys? Were you actively engaged this weekend? I had a lot of other stuff, and we talked about it in the opening segment, but curious, you guys catch a bunch this weekend?
Yeah, I was actively engaged in the Padres. I watched pretty much large chunks of every game, and that was really my only sports intake for the weekend. Did not tune in to the Stanley Cup, even though I said I would for elimination games.
Yeah, last night I was at a restaurant and there were like 4 or 5 guys at the bar, all really watching the Stanley Cup, which obviously, ended and was won by Colorado. And but the Dodgers Braves game was on, and I was much more into watching that game than the Stanley Cup. Gosh, the whole hockey season came and went. Hockey was back on ESPN. It used to be invisible when it was on NBC Sports. Now it's on ESPN and it's on all the damn time. And I still really just don't have any passion for hockey.
You have to work to watch a game of hockey. And especially in this market, like you have to work to watch it because there's nowhere to be found. Nowhere. You got to look. It's on ESPN, but that's the only time I literally go past ESPN without checking what's on it.
Yeah.
As soon as I see hockey, I'm like, next.
No,
I do love golf games, but I didn't go to one this year.
Me neither.
Right. Exactly. In person, the goals are outstanding. In person, I've seen the Blackhawks play twice. That's awesome. On television,
well, I mean, listen, I don't watch the WNBA on ESPN either. So if I go to ESPN and there's a WNBA game on, next. If I go to ESPN and there's an NHL hockey game on, pretty much it's like next.
MLS
during the college basketball season, regular season, next.
MLS is next for me too.
MLS,
next.
well, dude, MLS is their ratings are on ESPN or they're not good. They're very, very not good actually. So you had monster games. I think last week, it was the Galaxy and the Sounders, which is pretty much as big as it gets on the Western front of MLS. I'm no joke. I think I got 500,000 viewers.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, look, the whole season came and went. I like it in person also. I went a couple of years back to see a Ducks Blackhawks playoff game that went to 3 or 4 overtimes because I didn't get there till the third period. You know what I mean? It took forever. Traffic was horrible. And I didn't get there till the third period. At most points I was like, I got to turn around and go home. Why should I even go? But I was going to somebody's suite, blah, blah, blah. And I decided that I'd make the commitment. Well, it turns out I got a full game anyway because it went to 3 overtimes. But watching hockey on TV, not that I don't like it. It's just that I don't have a team to root for. I don't have a player that I love. When I was in college, the Pittsburgh Penguins had Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr at the very, very beginning of Jaromir Jagr's career, and they were great, and I was into it. But, yeah, the whole hockey season came and went. So I was watching the
Colorado.
Dodgers. Yeah, way to go, Avalanche. I was watching the Dodgers Braves last night more so than I was the NHL Stanley Cup Finals game, which ended and then Colorado went on and won. You say you watched a lot of Padres this weekend. For me, big takeaway is that Blake Snell, I mean, the whole thing with Bryce Harper, it was surprising to me in that the way Harper was kind of yelling at Blake Snell, and you could tell that it wasn't like everybody was barking back at each other, like, let's fight, let's go. It was like, dude, I am really sorry, man. I didn't mean to hit you like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is the big headline of the weekend, that you knock out Bryce Harper, not intentionally, but the Phillies still win 3 out of 4 in Petco Park. Browner, you say it all the time. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat. I don't know if Philly's considered a team you're supposed to beat.
Phillies are 18, and I think I saw 18-6 this month
since they fired Girardi. They've been
they got hot. Right, they got hot.
Yeah, they've been great. So I would have, and that's why going into the weekend, I thought that they would get a split, and they were on their way to a split. But Crispus, however you pronounce his name, he's been great all year. Yeah. He wasn't on Sunday.
He was great. He was great on Friday night when they won 1-0. And then yesterday he just imploded. Like, that's kind of what it's been with the Padres, you know. When they lose a game, it's something. You know, it's either the bullpen surprisingly has a bad game, the starter has a bad game. But this was a very, very long stretch of games for the Padres here recently. But you're right, Scott. I mean, the story, I don't even think there is. I mean, obviously, if you look at their injury list too, I mean, just dismantled by injuries at the moment. But the Blake Snell thing, there's nothing new there. Like, there's nothing. The only thing new that he showed us was that he's kind of mentally weak too.
Blake. Stop it. No, he wasn't bad. That was not a bad performance. You think that was a bad performance?
I thought my point being this time around, as soon as he hit Harper and Harper like yelled at him, it was a different pitcher. Completely different pitcher. Totally rattled, totally off his game, totally weak mentally. Like, that shouldn't just completely derail you that your boy yelled at you. Like, if you guys are that close, which they said they were, like, hey, we've been playing against each other since we were 10 or 12 years old. Like, he yelled at you, he's pissed, and then he said, sorry, my bad, I'm pissed. And you still get derailed so easily. It was incredibly discouraging to see that. Like, any sign of adversity, it was done.
You disagree, Brown?
I can't completely disagree, because when he hit him, clearly he was out of sorts.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't describe the action afterwards as mentally weak. I thought that he did not do a good job of getting back together. And I thought the coaching staff, I thought the pitching coach, somebody after that incident should have taken another beat to kind of like get him back mentally in the right space. I mean, but I can't really argue against him being called mentally weak, because the way he behaved afterwards was a sign of mental weakness.
All right, so here let's go to the beginning of it. Here, let's take a look at it together. So for
the first 3 innings, he was great.
So for everybody that's watching on television on Channel 4 San Diego, Cox and the Your View Network, for everybody that's watching on YouTube, if you were following along this weekend, you likely saw this. This was the big headline of the weekend, that Darvish hits Harper with like a 96. What did I say? Darvish. Excuse me. Snell hits Harper with was it a 96 mile an hour fastball?
Yes.
And breaks his thumb. And here, let's all watch it together. The first part of it. Let's
taking off everything.
Now fastball in right here.
Here we go.
Hey!
Oh, and he hits him.
Oh no.
Oh, yelling out at Snell.
Hey, you know what? It hurts, right? The guy's hurting. Yep. That's emotion.
Snell saying, my bad, I got you. You're right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, nobody, even though the crowd started booing at Harper, I don't think anybody really was like, I don't think anybody thought he was being a jerk about it, to be honest with you.
Well, for a second, I was like, whoa, like, I thought something might happen for a second, honestly. But then he kind of chilled and turned around and almost apologized. Like, hey, I get it. You know, but for a second, I was like, yo, is he really? I thought he was going to do something, to be honest with you. when I was watching it live.
I never thought he was going to do anything because he never made any notion towards Snell at any point. I just thought he was super pissed that it happened. I thought both of them were super pissed. Bryce Harper got the worst of it, obviously, but I never thought that there was any like physical animosity that he was going to take towards Snell. I just think he hated that he got hit on the hand.
Well, isn't
he knew it was broken too, I think.
Yeah, but prior to that, he'd gotten hurt earlier in the season.
He has
like 3 weeks ago, I think he was hurt.
He's playing with like a partially like torn elbow. That's why he's only DHing. He cannot play in the outfield.
Right. So here's a guy that has an elbow injury, can only DH, gets popped in the thumb, and probably heard it or felt it break, right? Because when he's walking off the field, he's like shaking it, almost like it hurts so freaking bad, like I'm trying to like get it to stop. And so now I can't play the outfield. I can only hit. It's the only contribution I can make with the team. And now I'm hit again, and I'm hurt, and I'm out. And by the way, we're on fire. Browner, you mentioned the record. If the numbers are all right, 18-6 over their last 24. So we're good. I can only hit, and now you're taking my bat out of the lineup. And so I understand like this immediate anger, but it was interesting to see him kind of yelling, but then kind of cooling out like, dude, I'm not like, it wasn't intentional and I don't want to fight. It's just, gosh darn, A, it hurts like a mofo.
Yeah.
And B, we're on fire and you're taking me out of my team, So I couldn't blame Bryce Harper. I really couldn't. But you talk about taking Blake Snell out of his game. Here, let's take a look at what Blake Snell said after the game. Look at this quote. Go ahead, Alex.
It definitely rattled me a little bit. I went out there and I was starting off at bats with balls, not as aggressive, not attacking the zone like I was. It definitely changed the game a little bit. A lot of it, actually.
Yep.
Really look at the numbers.
Yeah. Change that little bit to a lot of it.
So go ahead. So here are the numbers. Go ahead.
Yeah, like Browner said, he was great for 3 innings. Then he hits 3.1 innings, 1 hit allowed, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts. Hits Harper, goes 2 1/3, allows 5 hits, 4 runs, and 2 strikeouts. It totally changed, completely changed him. Completely.
And I feel like,
and the thing about Blake go ahead.
I thought that this was a good opportunity for him to kind of turn things around because it had been rough for him the last 3 or 4 starts, and this looked like he was going in the right direction. He had kind of got his footing. He had kind of figured out where he was messing up at in the previous starts, and I wanted to see him go through the lineup again with that same level of success. Maybe not 1 hit, but give up a couple more hits, but kind of semi-cruise through it. But man,
the thing about Blake, though, too, is every single performance he's had this year has not been great. He's so self-aware of what he thinks is wrong with his performance. Every single time.
Yes.
He's like, my aggression, I'm not doing the right pitching. I'm not calling the right amount pitches or whatever. It's never a command thing with him. So that's what makes it so frustrating with him is like, if you know you're not being aggressive, why not then be aggressive? If you know you need to attack the hitters more, then why not attack hitters more? Like, you're so aware post-game that what's happening to you on the mound that you can't fix it while you're doing it. Because he's always so honest after the game and he's so precise on what he thinks he's doing wrong. So it's like, why can you be so, like, once you're out of the game, why can you be so specific about what's going on? Why can't you fix on the fly? That's a big problem. He can't adjust on the fly.
It goes back to what you said at the beginning. When you talk about him being mentally weak, like most people would hear you say that and go, wait a second, we're talking about Blake Snell here. This guy's had an amazing career as a pitcher in Major League Baseball. You're going to call this guy mentally weak? Well, in this situation that you're talking about, if you know how to like self-scout and you know about all the things that you're not doing or why things aren't working, if you hit a guy and he starts barking at you and all the numbers suggest, and by the way, you say it after the game, I got rattled, that just goes to, I think, speak to the mental side of the game. And by the way, listen, man, all these guys, they're all great. If you've made it to the major leagues, you're great.
Yeah. You want to Cy Young.
It is a matter of your mind, and he got, listen, I saw that whole thing go down. I mentioned to you guys, I wasn't like deeply engaged in all this weekend, but I saw this one thing happen. I went, oh man, Harper barking at him like that. I mean, you either, get back into the fight or you're like, oh gosh, I hit him and I hurt him and he's mad at me and now I don't want to be aggressive anymore. I don't want to take the chance of hitting somebody else. I don't want to turn this into a brawl. I don't know, I told you guys last week, we've seen the best of Blake Snell.
Well, also I had a buddy of mine who's he's a very big Dodger fan, but he was like, you guys on your Browner talks about Blake Snell like he's Nolan Ryan. He's like, go look at his career. 2018 was an outlier. And then I did go. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? And then I was like, he's been good. And he's like, no, he hasn't. 2018 was almost like an accident. Like when he won the Cy Young, he went 21-5.
Mm-hmm.
21-5. Outside of that, he's like 28-36 in his career.
Outside of that 1 year?
Yes.
That's all he's got?
I'll read it to you. 6-8, 5-7, 6-8, 4-2, 7-6, and 0-5. It's freaking jarring because I think the perception of Blake Snell is that he's an ace. He's a number one. He's a top guy. Like Blake Snell does throw a lot of strikeouts. He has stuff, but everything else, man, ERA of 3.54, 4.04, 4.29, 3.24, 4.20, 5.60. That's not ace stuff outside of 2018. 2018 was fantastic. I'm not taking that away from him. He's 21-5 with a 1.89 ERA. Like that's an incredible season. That's why he won the Cy Young. Outside of that, I think we know what Blake Snell is and what he's done here since he's been a Padre. That's what he is.
Well, and
I think it's our fault that we've hyped him up.
Yeah, well, the other thing is that how like when he was in Tampa and they pulled him out of that World Series game against the Dodgers because everybody talked about the analytics and take him out after seeing the lineup twice and the fifth inning, whatever. That is what he is. That may not necessarily have been, because that's the way Tampa Bay decided to do it with him. That just may be who he is. I wonder how many complete games, if he has any, in his career.
I can look it up right now. But yeah, he's 28.
Not a lot because Tampa Bay shut him down.
Right.
He's 28 and 36 outside of 2018.
28-36 outside of the 1 year he was 21-5 and won the Cy Young.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just don't think that the problem with wins and losses is we've talked about it on this show. Wins and losses aren't necessarily an indicator of whether or not you had a good outing. It's more about ERAs. It's more about guys on hits given up, earned runs. It's not more about wins and losses because I think 1 year the guy for the Mariners won the Cy Young with a losing. I think it was like 12-13.
Yeah, but I mean his ERA is not impressive. His ERA is not impressive any year. I'd have to go back and look at like his innings pitched to see because that's always what I judge. If a guy's going 7, but he's allowing 3.5, but he's going 7 every game, that's I'll take that. Right. I like that.
Yeah, Browner, you may be right. I mean, about the win-loss record not necessarily being indicative, but I think Alex is also right that when you win a Cy Young award, we all have a perception of what you are. Like I remember,
I think Blake Snell. See, this is where I think the collective idea was built on Blake Snell is watching him in the World Series completely turn the lights off on the Dodgers, and then him being pulled, and then him immediately winning the game. And I think that set the picture of him for everybody because it was the highest viewing moment, and he was so great in that moment. People then went, oh well, he did win a Cy Young, and that was all you needed.
Right. Well, and then when he comes to the Padres, Padre fans rejoice, ourselves included, like as if you just got an ace because you got a guy who's got a Cy Young award and a guy who's yanked too early from a World Series game against the Dodgers. And so Padre fans thought, well, we got something great here. And I think to Alex's point, his one really great year was the year he won the Cy Young. Outside of that,
and they didn't make the playoffs that year either.
And outside of that great year, yeah, I mean, he's less than 500. And again, maybe wins and losses is not the best metric to use to determine a pitcher's success or failure, but those are the numbers.
And to answer your question, 0 complete games in his career.
0 in his career. Yeah, amazing. I know. Well, hey, listen, I want to keep this going. I know we got a lot more we want to get to, not just Padres or Dodgers, but also what happened in Anaheim this weekend with Seattle. And for those of you that are 1090 listeners that are mostly like San Diego interested, there's a lot to this story about the Mariners and the Angels and the fight and then the pizza delivery. And if you're like, what are you talking about? We'll get to it coming up in just a couple minutes. Before we do, hey, I just want to remind everybody, if you go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com, we've posted for you now the next 3 IV lounges at iThrive MD. The first one is coming up this Saturday from 12 to 2. It's July 2nd. This Saturday from 12 to 2. I'll be there. Browner, Grande, you're both invited. The thing is that we're going into this 4th of July weekend. I've already talked about coming off of a long weekend. Going into 4th of July, it's summertime, man. People are going to be partying. People are going to be having a good time. So we have an IV lounge coming up this Saturday. You'll save 30%. All you have to do is join our IV lounge. It's between 12 and 2, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. iThrive MD, Mission Valley, this Saturday. Make sure you get this IV. Couple things. I know a lot of people that have COVID right now. Number one, I want to stay as healthy as possible. And number two, you might be partying and drinking. And so it's 4th of July. So this is really good for you for a lot of hydration and nutrition and so on. iThrive MD, our IV lounge. You can catch up to us on kaplanandcrew.com for all the information. Let's get to this Angels brawl next. Stick around.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Rome comes home. Yes, I said it. You can now catch the Jim Rome Show Monday through Friday, noon until 3 p.m. on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Back to San Diego, where it all started, on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Please welcome in tax attorney Adam Brewer. Adam, thanks so much for joining us again on Main Street Living.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be back.
So, of course, we have more tax questions for you. First of all, what are the types of business entities that business owners can use?
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd ask this question. So this time of year, this is when, business owners probably just got handed a pretty big tax bill. And so naturally, the next question is, how can they save taxes? How can they save on taxes? And so that's where these business entities really, they may come in. So yeah, what we're looking at is corporations or limited liability companies, more commonly called LLCs. So definitely by using either a corporation or an LLC, business owners may be able to really save on taxes. For the most part, when we talk about tax savings, we're looking at like an S Corp election. And so again, an LLC can do that, a corporation can do that. But the net result is you want to save on what's called self-employment tax. So for 2022, a business owner is going to, by default, pay self-employment tax on the first $147,000 of taxable income. So that's 15.3%. By doing an S Corp election, putting yourself on payroll, you can really drive down how much of your income you have to pay that 15.3% at. Beyond the tax savings, it just offers an extra level of protection between the business owner's personal assets, say their home, and their business operation. So, no matter what business you operate, you're going to have some exposure to liability. So an entity like a corporation, like an LLC, it just puts that extra level of protection between the business and then what the owner has on their personal side.
Yeah, well, clearly a plethora of information that you always provide to us, Adam. We appreciate you being on the show. Where can our viewers get in touch with you for more tax help?
Yeah, like always, they can visit my website, triumphovertax.com, or feel free to pick up the phone. You can always give me a call, 619-591-9500.
Main Street streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. From our street to your street. Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on Your View.
Main Street Living celebrates Pride Month in partnership with Subaru of El Cajon, an extraordinary experience for everyone.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
All right, great friends. What's happening? It is Monday afternoon. This is Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios. For those of you that are listening on radio, we're glad you're still here. For those of you that want to catch up to the show tonight on television, we're on Channel 4 San Diego. It's our home base, part of the Cox Your View network. For those of you that are with us on Facebook right now, on YouTube right now, look, I want to just say this. Comment down below, like, subscribe, spread the word, get involved in our YouTube chat, and let's all be part of, what's going on around here on YouTube. So make sure you're involved there, because on YouTube, things happen fast around here. On radio, things take kind of a long time. 21 minutes on, we got a bunch of commercials, back to 21 minutes on. On YouTube, things just fly. So everybody in the YouTube chat right now, everybody who watches our YouTube show, I always call you guys the heart and soul of what we do around here. All right, fellas, you guys ready to move on? You guys ready to talk about some other stuff that happened this weekend in the world of sports? Or you want to keep talking about the difference between In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A?
No, because I'm gonna just DoorDash some Chick-fil-A. So let's move on.
Yeah, I know. Gosh, DoorDashing Chick-fil-A. I'm considering that right now as well.
So let's move on. Yeah. Next thing you know, the three of us are going to be eating a spicy deluxe in the next segment.
Yeah. Although I did have recently just one last thought on all of this. I really love the chicken nuggets at Chick-fil-A. They're really great. They're really bad for you, although I don't know what kind of calories you take in for the chicken nuggets, an 8-piece, Alex. I don't really know. Mm-hmm. But they're so damn good. I was recently at a
we're going to keep talking about.
What's the name of that burger? No, but what's the name of that burger? Oh, Shake Shack. Shake Shack.
I was at 8-count chicken nuggets, 260 calories.
Oh, it's not bad. I should get 16.
It's still less than a double-double.
Like you had to pay last time.
You can get a 24-piece, a 24-pack. It was still less than a double-double.
No way. Really? How many calories are in a 24-piece Chick-fil-A nugget?
Well, 260 times 3.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Like 680?
No.
780. Oh, yeah, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, maybe like 780.
I don't know.
I love how we're trying to do math.
I don't do math, man.
Yeah. Anyway, I was recently at a Shake Shack and I ordered their chicken nuggets just to give them a try. Have you guys ever had the chicken nuggets at Shake Shack?
I've had the chicken sandwich at Shake Shack.
Yeah.
During the whole craze of Popeyes versus all the other ones, Chick-fil-A. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was like, Shake Shack has one. I tried it. It was good.
Yeah.
But not nuggets.
The chicken nuggets are good. The chicken's soft and moist, but the breading like falls off the nugget, and they're kind of greasy, but generally good, generally pretty good. All right, let me go on. So listen, if we were to put up, Alex, before we get going here, if we were to take a look at kind of all 3 weekends, of what happened here between, the teams that we all seem to follow. I'm looking at the standings right now. Dodgers have a 2-game lead over the Padres, and the Giants are 6.5 games back. So Padres will play the Diamondbacks in their next series. Browner, this is one of those series where you're like, look, you got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. You just got beat 3 out of 4 at home by Philadelphia with their best hitter out of the lineup because, the Padre pitcher hit him and broke his thumb. When you're playing against Arizona, this is a series you got to win. And
only are you just playing Arizona, who you just swept?
Yeah.
It's 2 games before you play 4 against the Dodgers. You need both.
Yeah, you got to get it. So the Dodgers and the Padres are this weekend.
Thursday through Sunday.
Okay. I just want to just make sure. Okay. And that's at Dodger Stadium, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, wow, that's a big series coming up. That is a big series right around the corner. Dodgers have a 2-game lead over the Padres. And I haven't looked yet, but the Dodgers.
In Colorado.
So the Dodgers coming off of their win in Atlanta, 2 out of 3. They go to last place Colorado.
Yes, for 3.
So you got to, right now, there's a lot of injuries for the Padres. We've talked last week. There is no Tatis. There is no Machado. And what is the word on Machado?
Unavailable to pinch hit the last 2 days,
Mhm.
but yesterday did take batting practice and do more
Yep.
fielding drills. The
Mhm.
next step is like running the bases, which is why he wasn't available to pinch hit. But from all reports, it looks likely to be available tomorrow or Wednesday and back Thursday. But then again, Padres, you never know. But it would make sense for him to be available before the 10 days are up, because then they should have put him on the IL and they just wasted 10 days of a healthy body.
Well, the other thing is that, look, you're coming off this series loss at home against Philadelphia, and you're going to play Arizona, like you mentioned, who the Padres swept in the series previous, and you're getting ready to go see the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, because this has been a great first half of the season, because we haven't seen a lot of Padres Dodgers.
Right.
We're going to get most of it on the back end of the season, where it should actually matter. Games that really do matter.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're Manny Machado, an opportunity to hurry up and get back into the lineup and do it in LA against the Dodgers, I would think Manny's probably trying to hustle up to get back on the field for that.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing is that it's not going to be what it looks like. Is it's not going to be until the All-Star break, like we all panicked exactly a week ago. Our predictions of me 16, 15, 17, 14, 13, and 18, like I don't think we're going to have to worry about it for a whole month, which is really the good news. If he misses 9 games, if he misses 10 games, it's better than 31.
Well, the other good news is that we're not going to need Eric Hosmer to carry the Padres the way Browner predicted that he would.
Mm-hmm.
Browner said he'll hit between 280 and 310 over the course of the next 31 games, and he'll hit 8 home runs, and Eric Hosmer will lead and carry the Padres. Well, we're probably not going to need to be on the road to 8 home runs, although in his last 6 games, his batting average is 250. So Browner said 280 to 310.
Getting there.
And as we talked about last week, he had 2 home runs, like right off the bat. Pat. But
pow.
Yeah.
So in 25 games, can he hit 6 home runs? That is a home run every 4 games. He can do that.
No, he can't.
He needs to play.
You know how I know you don't know? You know how I know you don't agree with what you just said? Because you're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe you can't.
Yeah, maybe
you really can't.
I love the optimism, though. I love the optimism.
I want to talk about what happened this weekend between the Angels and the Mariners. And I mentioned everybody at the beginning of the show, I had kind of a crazy weekend, and I was not like as tuned in as I might normally be. So just some big headlines was, from the Padres series this weekend, lose 3 out of 4, and Bryce Harper gets a broken thumb because Blake Snell hits him, and the whole yelling match after, whatever. I was more interested going into this weekend to find out if Tommy Pham was going to slap Jock Pederson when the Reds got together with the Giants. And I swear to you guys, this is a true story. Late Friday night, it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. The party has ended. The whole post-party wrap-up has ended. And I go back to my hotel room and I go on to ESPN.com to look up what happened in the Reds-Giants game. And
nothing.
Everything I read, I'm like waiting for a paragraph to say something like, fireworks before the game because Tommy Pham decided he was going to pimp slap Jock Pederson yet again. And the Giants were wearing T-shirts like about the Fantasy Football League. And so nothing happened. There were no Tommy Pham pimp slap of any kind on Jock Pederson.
Nope. The only thing that happened was that the Reds were wearing Pham shirts. And then when Tommy Pham came up to bat, the reports were that they were thunderous boos, but you can barely hear it.
Here's Tommy Pham.
Number 28, Tommy Pham.
I love the director. I love the director.
Yeah. Everybody who's listening on radio, here's the deal. So the PA announcer says, Tommy Pham, now batting Tommy Pham. And you can hear the boos. I wouldn't call it thunderous, but you could hear the boos. Mm-hmm. And then they show Tommy Pham coming to the plate. And then right away, they show Jock Pederson, who's blowing a bubble in the outfield. Like the camera pans from the batter's box to the outfield. Here's Tommy Pham. You can hear the boos. Here's Jock Pederson. He's the guy who got slapped and didn't do anything about it. So I have a question for you, Alex.
Yes.
Since Tommy Pham did not pimp slap Jock Pederson,
Yeah.
you said that if he didn't do it after all the threats,
Mm-hmm.
you said,
Mm-hmm.
little bitch.
I mean, I stand by that.
Wow.
I think that there was a whole lot of yapping and not a lot of slapping.
Wow.
And it was actually quite embarrassing for Tommy Pham because the only direct interaction that they had was Jock Pederson was on second base.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was either Saturday or Sunday. And it was a deep fly out to left field. I'm telling you, Jock was on second. The ball was hit to Tommy Pham in left field near the warning track.
Mm-hmm.
And Jock basically like double birded him by tagging up and beating the throw. So I think they're 1-1 right now.
So you're standing by a little
That
bit.
is the largest stretch of imagination.
How about this
I
then,
mean, that's
Browner?
impressive even for me.
On the weekend, Jock Pederson 3 hits, 1 home run. Tommy Pham on the weekend, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts.
Winner,
The
Jock
Reds
Pederson.
did win 2 out of 3 though.
Wow, that's crazy.
But the only direct interaction was that. I think Tommy Pham flew out to Jock once, and then Jock tagged up from second to third on a Tommy Pham throw because Tommy Pham doesn't have a great arm. We've all seen that, but that was it, man. I was super disappointed.
Me too.
Incredibly
Me too.
disappointed until today. So I stand by my comment that Tommy Pham, the act of not slapping this weekend.
Show me the level of security that it required to keep them separate.
Check this out. To your point, Browner, Jock Pederson, scared of Tommy Pham, frightened of Tommy Pham, in his boots, Tommy Pham. What the hell am I talking about? This morning, Chris Rose, our friend, released his podcast, which he does, the Chris Rose Rotation.
Mhm.
He had 2 Braves pitchers on this week. Taylor Matzik and Josh Tomlin.
Mhm.
Matzik's on the Braves. Tomlin's not on the Braves anymore. But they were talking about last season, and Chris Rose asked them, like, hey, you know, like Jock's on the Braves with you guys last year. Do you guys know anything about this Jock Pederson, Tommy Pham thing? Not a good look for Jock at all.
All last year. So we would hear about this in our clubhouse before this ever happened. And the biggest one was when we went to San Diego that end of the year. And he literally did not leave the clubhouse. Jock did not leave the clubhouse because he knew Tommy Pham was out there and Tommy Pham wanted to slap him and beat him up. And so he just stayed inside the clubhouse, didn't take BP for 3 days, just hid inside the cage and then would come out to the game. It was fantastic. So the whole clubhouse, everybody knew this. And he thought that it like, you know, Tommy left or that Pham had left the league and like he was good to go. Came out and then
What a grudge to hold. I mean, that's been a year in the making, and he just said walked up to him and bitch slapped him.
So, according to his former Braves teammates,
Mhm.
Jock was super scared of Tommy Pham to the point where when the Braves came to Petco at the end of last season, he never left the clubhouse. He didn't take batting practice, and he stayed in the clubhouse all
Dude.
3 games.
Dude, come on. Like you would think that one of his teammates would be like, yo, bro, come
got
on.
your back, bro.
We got you. You know, listen, I get it. Tommy Pham's got this whole hood thing that he's got going on. And you're like this kid from the suburbs. And, you know, I understand, you know, he likes to fight. He likes to throw hands. You're a peaceful brother. You don't want anything to do with this. This is all over some stupid fantasy football league. But you can't be afraid of the guy.
Scared. I told y'all.
Scared.
I told y'all, dude. I told y'all. Ain't no man ain't a professional athlete, okay? These are the alpha of alpha males, one would think. And one slapped the other one, and he never tried to punch him back.
That's the big. I cut out a little bit of the clip because it was kind of a long clip. The bald guy, Tomlin, he asked, like, Chris asked him, like, what'd you guys think of what happened? And Tomlin's like, Jock. He like looked in the camera like, Jock, you gotta do something. You can't just let a grown man slap you. Like his old teammates are saying that. So I don't know. I was pretty disappointing this weekend, though, man. Honestly, very disappointing this weekend. I feel like I really don't want this story to ever die.
Yeah.
I really do want it just to be continued because it's so silly and it's so stupid. But I don't know. It's the most
Well,
entertaining thing that's ever happened in baseball.
well, here's the thing. So all weekend, like I'm telling you guys, Friday night was a late night. It went till like 2:00 in the morning, and then I got back to my hotel room and I was looking it up, and I was trying to read articles, trying to figure out if anything went down between Tommy Pham and Jock Pederson. Nothing did. So the only satisfaction, if you were looking for a base brawl that you might have gotten this weekend, came via the Angels and the Mariners. And I want to talk about that here in just 1 second. Before I do, shout out to my man, Brian Bushfield, West Coast BBQ Shop, westcoastbbqshop.com. If you're in Chula Vista, this is 2330 Proctor Valley Road. And I'm giving you this address as if you know where everything is. But Browner, in that shopping center where West Coast BBQ Shop is, there used to be an Albertsons on the other side of the parking lot. But what are some of the other stores that are in that shopping center? Do you recall?
No, there's a Pizza Hut in there. There's a sushi place in there. There's a Starbucks in there. There's obviously 2-in-1, the bar that's next door to our favorite guy Brian's place. There's also a barber shop in there. There's a yoga shop in there. That's as far as I've gotten.
Well, so there's a lot of traffic is what I'm getting at
Yes,
inside of the shopping center. I don't really know about Albertsons. I kind of think Albertsons and some other grocery chain like merge. And then like, I don't know if I don't really know. But anyway, it's kind of odd to see like a big, what used to be a grocery store sitting there kind of empty. But Brian's on the other side of the parking lot. There's a lot of traffic in the shopping center is my point. And so if you are contemplating, could be a big green egg. By the way, big green eggs come in lots of different sizes, So if you like, I love this, smoking of meats and I like doing, slow stuff, but I don't need a giant one. There's lots of different sizes of big green eggs. So there's the big green eggs. Alex, I know you love that Napoleon grill. Get any use this weekend?
You made some hot dogs on Friday.
Yeah. Kind of dogs?
Like ballpark dogs. I think
like
literally
ballpark?
the brand was the ballpark. Yeah.
You don't go with Hebrew Nationals?
No, I don't.
Yeah, they're good. They're higher quality dogs.
I'm more of a sausage guy. I like buy sausages instead of hot dogs.
Yeah.
But I was really craving a hot dog. So
yeah. When you craved a hot dog, how many did you make?
2.
Just 2 dogs.
2 dogs.
Buns? Lettuce, tomato?
No.
Ketchup, mustard?
Yes, ketchup, mustard, mayo, cheese.
Mayo?
Yeah, don't. I'm a California kid, dude.
Ketchup, mustard, mayo, cheese on a dog?
Oh yeah, it's bomb.
I'll tell you what. We should have a dog contest. You ready? Your ketchup, mustard, mayo, cheese dog, and ballpark, by the way. I'll take a Hebrew National.
I would
dog.
actually go if I had a choice. They didn't have it. I'm a Farmer John guy.
Oh, so that's a Dodger dog.
I just like if I want like a really terrible hot dog, I go Farmer John.
Yeah. Well, that's the original Dodger dog,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I'll meet your Farmer John with a Hebrew National.
Mm-hmm.
You ready? Ketchup, mustard, relish, onions, and sauerkraut.
That sounds like a Chicago dog without the ketchup.
No. Well, Brown, what would you kind of meet us with here? If he's got the ketchup, mustard, mayo, cheese dog, and I've got the ketchup, mustard, onion, relish, sauerkraut dog, what kind of Chicago dog might you bring to the party?
You get what you just pretty much named as the Chicago dog.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I think of it as being more of like a New York dog.
But if I'm coming into a competition setting,
yeah,
I'm not bringing you my house mayo cheese thing. I'm coming at you with a TJ dog.
Oh,
I'm coming at you
wrap that
bacon
rascal?
wrapped, jalapenos, all that stuff, dude. I'm going at you with a TJ dog.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, listen, big green eggs, Napoleon grills, exotic meats, high-end meats, sauces and rubs and hardware, anything having to do with grilling. It's our guy, Brian Bushfield, West Coast BBQ Shop, westcoastbbqshop.com. So there was no Jock Pederson, Tommy Pham bitch slap, okay? But there was a base brawl between the A's and the Mariners. And this one kind of went on for a while.
Would you say there was a Rendon bitch slap?
Don't know. Didn't see that.
Didn't see that.
I wouldn't say that wasn't
People are saying that's the best thing Rendon's done in an Angel uniform.
That could be true.
Isn't he hurt and like out for the year?
Which is why,
and in a cast, by the way.
Which is why when we get to it, you're going to be impressed by Anthony Rendon.
Because I watched the video of the brawl, and I felt like it's just a bunch of guys kind of wrestling with each other. Push. Hey,
no.
stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back.
No.
Oh no, dude.
I didn't-
Winker was throwing. There was punches, dude. This
Okay,
is the first real baseball fight we've had in Major League Baseball in years.
because dude, I mean, it went on for a long time. But
Yeah.
again, the video that I saw was just everybody kind of holding everybody back. You hang over here. There was a scrum, and then they kind of had it all broken up, and then they kind of scrummed again when they moved into the infield.
No,
and then
Winker threw some punches, dude.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
This was punches and bodies thrown, chokeholds, all that.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, so we've got this video. We're going to take a look at this.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't.
When we
see
come
it.
back.
Okay, I didn't see it. I really didn't. Now, here's the next part of it. You ready?
Yeah.
So there's this story. I was reading it this morning and I was trying to follow it, where a fan of this guy, Winker,
Mm-hmm.
she was like so proud of him, I guess, for being in the middle of this brawl that she called a pizza shop somewhere in Anaheim. I think it's called Mountain Mike's.
Yep.
And the only reason I even know what Mountain Mike's is, shout out to Mountain Mike's, is because at one point my son worked there. Like when he was going to school up at Saddleback College, he worked as like a delivery guy for Mountain Mike's. So she orders a pizza to this Winker guy
At Angel Stadium.
right? And it gets delivered to the clubhouse,
Oh, yeah.
apparently. This is bizarre to me.
Right.
I mean, I'd not really heard of this. And the delivery guy, whoever he or she must be, that guy gets some credit, right?
Well, and not only did you get credit, he got rewarded.
Okay,
Let's
let's
explain all this stuff to you guys.
All right, so we'll get to what happened. Angels, Mariners brawl this past weekend, and then the subsequent pizza delivery that happens to the Mariners clubhouse. We're in the 7 Mile Casino studio. Stick around, everybody. This is Kaplan and Crew.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
You're listening to the 50,000-watt Powerhouse, bringing you the new generation of radio up and down all of California with a little bit of attitude. This is SoCal Sports Talk, the all-new and mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Please welcome 4 of the 5 San Diego County Teachers of the Year from the 2021-2022 school year. From Central Elementary School, Laura Reyes. From Westville High School, Tiffany Jokers. From San Jose Elementary School, Jacqueline Jordan. And from St. Joe Chavez Middle School, Todd Sanders. Teachers, please deliver the pitch. San Diego County Teachers of the Year with their honorary pitch.
I thought I was okay. I had a degree, I had work experience. I should be able to provide for my kids. But they're just things that you don't plan on in life.
My husband got laid off and we are a family of 5.
My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I would ask the doctors, what can I do? And they would just say, just make sure she's eating. Our lives just changed completely. Thank God that we always had a plate of food.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
The San Diego Loyal got a 5-0 win against the Indy 11 on Saturday. Thomas Amang got the scoring started with a goal in the 29th minute. Kyle Vassell had a pair of goals in the win in the 42nd and 52nd minute as well. Indy had a goal in their own net for the Loyal after deflecting a shot from Tumi Moshebain, and then Moshebain sealed it out with a goal in the 85th minute. The win is the largest margin of victory in franchise history for San Diego. The Loyal are still third in the Western Conference with 28 points. San Antonio FC sits in first with 34 points, while the Colorado Springs Switchbacks are close in second with 33 points. The Loyal will wrap up this homestand in the month of June against Orange County SC on Wednesday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View. You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
What's going on to all the great friends that watch the show on television here on Cox Your View? What you're about to see will never be heard on radio, won't be seen on YouTube, no audio podcast. This is just for you here on Cox Your View.
Oh, shit. It's actually 6 minutes.
Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, great friends. Those of you who are watching on Cox, on Channel 4 San Diego, Channel 4 Santa Barbara, or anywhere in Southern California on the Cox Your View network, we had been promoting for a long time Egg Fest down in Chula Vista. And on the weekend of, let's see, it was June 12th, Sunday, June 12th, that's when the event went down. So Grande Brown Man, let's show all of the Cox viewers what they missed. Did you guys have fun? This was a great event. I loved it.
More importantly, there was lots of food, lots and lots and lots of food.
Yeah. There were also a lot of listeners that came down.
A lot of listeners, yeah.
A lot of listeners who live in the South Bay area that were like, hey, I knew you guys were going to be nearby, so I came over. And by the way, here's one thing that's interesting. Not only were there a lot of listeners, a lot of female listeners, which I thought was super cool. And what I hear from the ladies is, I love it when you guys talk sports, but I really love it even more when you guys aren't talking sports.
Yeah, it's when you bring, this much sex appeal to a show, you get a different audience, Scott,
Facts.
I know.
Facts.
Sexy.
I mean, look at these three mugs,
Totally.
That saying face for radio doesn't apply here.
Hey, there was one lady that showed up, 62 years old, white woman. All she wanted to do was talk about how Browner's her boyfriend. And I'm like, see, Brown? I'm like, this is your demo, man.
That's right.
Alex, show us, what are we going to take a look at? So this is exclusive for Cox. I mean, we'll talk about this on air, but this is stuff you're only going to see here on Cox Channel 4 in Your View. What are we going to look at here first, Alex?
What do you want to look at first? You have Browner being a drone videographer. You have pictures of food. You have we talked to Brian after.
All right, let's do this. Let's start off with food, because that's what Egg Fest was really all about. It was all about the food, right? So what are you going to show us here? Let's take a look.
This stole the show, right? I mean, you gotta.
Right. Yeah. Pig on the big green egg, which, to me doesn't look great, but it was pretty damn good. No, it doesn't look good.
Oh, it looks, when I walked in, that was the first thing I saw. I walked in to the left. This guy had that big green egg wide open. I was like, well, I know where I'm camping. This is where I'm going right here.
I couldn't eat it, man. It was too much. It was too close to looking like a real pig, man.
Well, it was a real pig.
It was a real pig.
I like to eat my food anonymously. I don't like it. I don't like to look at it and then put it in my mouth. I couldn't do that.
When I get a burger, it's just a burger.
Right.
I don't need to see the cow that it came from. Right.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't eat it, man.
Any other Any other food shots that we should take a look at? Because you like the pig. We didn't really love the pig.
Did you guys end up trying the bacon wrapped Oreo?
I did not try the bacon wrapped Oreo, but I think on the right side here, there's a bacon wrapped piece of chicken. Is that what that is?
No, it was a pork belly.
Oh, that's the pork belly. Oh, and what's that little sandwich you got going there?
Pulled pork sandwich.
Dude, that looks good.
Mm-hmm.
That looks really good.
You know what's funny is that this whole time you just keep going from tent to tent to tent to tent, eating. I didn't take any pictures at all. Like the only reason I took a picture of the bacon wrapped Oreo was because I was going to text it to my lady. I was like, dude, they got bacon wrapped Oreos here.
You said they were pretty bomb though.
Okay, so it's really it was confusing. It really was confusing. You take a bite and your mouth is like, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? And then the more you eat it, you're like, yeah, this is actually fantastic.
How about
bacon wrapped Oreo?
How about any pictures? Any pictures you got, Alex, of us with lots of listeners that were down? Because that was fun. That to me was a lot of fun. Hanging out with great friends. Oh, look at this crew right here. This is a great crew. Fat Tony's in the house. Tommy. This couple right here, they're wonderful. I love these two to my left. And then my friend Suzanne is on the far left. But this is a really wonderful couple, drinking beers, supporting. That was great. Anybody else? Oh, this lady right here. She works for the county of San Diego. What a sweetheart she is. She gave me her phone number. I went to text her to give her my phone number, and she gave me a landline. So I maybe I put the wrong phone number in. I don't know. Who else?
Girlfriend?
Oh, Browner's girlfriend. This woman. She's like, I love
boo?
Browner.
What's up, boo?
That's your girl, huh, Brown?
Yeah, that's my girl right there. Shout out.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. She gave me her Instagram.
Her husband
handle.
understand.
Her husband was like, I get it. That's Cheryl Delaney, by the way. Cheryl
Her husband
Delaney
was like, take her.
Hey, Alex, show us the video. I know I talked to Brian a little bit. He was super excited about how the day went down. Show us that video if you could. Let's take a look. Yo, so we promoted Eggfest for a long time. And today, Brian Bushfield, what do you think?
Huge success. Big. Look at it. We got 20 chefs, 40 eggs.
20 chefs, 40 eggs. We're walking in circles.
Tailing off. We would have been here an hour ago. We couldn't have done this video. There were so many people. Beer garden, huge success.
Yeah, and we did so much of the promotion besides radio was exclusive on Cox. So for everybody that's watching on Cox, dude, way to come out and support. Nice.
Right. And I mean, if you're thinking about advertising, Scott, Kaplan and crew, Cox Cable, way to go.
Thank you for that. All right, instant unsolicited. There you go. Thank you, Brian.
Unsolicited.
God, I'm fat. I got to lose weight. I need to lose.
Come on, man. That's what you saw.
Dude, I got to lose 15 to 20 pounds. Hey, look, bottom line is this. To all the Cox Your View viewers out there, we really appreciate your support. And we'll keep on doing this where there's just Cox exclusive content.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company. You need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
What keeps me coming back is just learning more about myself in the classroom, and as I learn more about myself, I can share more about myself with my students, and I can open up more and care more and love more and teach more by example.
Teaching is just one of those things that if you have a heart for it, you've found your place, and I have found my place. I get to help little people realize what it means to learn something for the first time, and that's something like reading that will be with them for the rest of their lives.
Still a little bit overwhelmed, maybe a little bit surprised. You know, you don't go into teaching for awards, you go into teaching because you sincerely believe you can make a difference in young people's lives, and that's kind of what got me into the field in the first place.
We use our phones to order our food, catch a ride, share our stories, and so much more. SDCCU made banking from your mobile device easy too. You can do so much, get up-to-date account balances, check on pending deposits, transfer money, deposit checks, and more. Safely and securely, all through the convenience of your smartphone. SDCCU. It's not big bank banking, it's better.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
The price of gas and, well, just about everything else may have you reconsidering a vacation this year.
Yeah, not to worry. We think the most summer fun can be happening in your very own